do believe in millions of years, many people haven't thought this through, even in the church. The idea of millions of years came out of atheism. It came out of people who wanted to explain everything on earth by natural processes. It came out of naturalism, and they didn't want to use the Bible. And so in the 1700s, 1800s, these people who wanted to explain the fossil record without God said it was laid down millions of years before man. But the fossil record is full of death, bloodshed, animals eating each other, you have bones in their stomachs, thorns, fossil thorns you see in the fossil record, diseases. You actually see evidence of brain tumors, evidence of cancer, evidence of arthritis, abscesses, all sorts of things in the fossil record. Now think about this. As a Christian, if you have that millions of years of death and disease and suffering and animals eating each other and you add it to the Bible, you have to put it before Adam because the secular world is saying this all happened before man. If you do that, then wait a minute, that means that God called all that very good. Because after he made man on the sixth day, he said everything he made was very good. Well, if you already have this fossil record of death and bloodshed and disease and suffering, God called brain tumors very good, cancer very good. The Bible makes it clear thorns came after the curse, but the fossil record has thorns that are supposed to be millions of years old. And you see, the Bible makes it very clear, I believe, that death, bloodshed, disease, and suffering is a consequence of sin. It's our sin that brought that into existence. That's why Romans 8 says the whole of creation groans. But you can understand, if you have generations of young people who've been told, even in their churches, and this is what the research found, that most of their leaders were telling them, you can believe in millions of years, it doesn't matter, as long as you trust in Jesus, then you can see the conflict, because the secular world today even looks around and they see all this death and suffering and children dying, starvation, and they say, where's your loving God? See, they have no concept that it's sin that caused this. That's why so many young people today, I believe, have no concept of a fear of God, because they do not understand sin. They've been brought up in a church culture and in the secular culture where they've been taught that millions of years of death and bloodshed existed on this planet. And if that's the case, then what did our sin do? What is sin? They have no concept of that, no concept of the holiness of God. And then they struggle when they go to church and they hear God is a loving God. And they say, what about all this death and struggle?